Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. So, one of the most powerful characters in the game has just gotten a massive stealth buff that's sort of hidden away in one of the hotfix patch notes. That is the Knight. I think that Knight was already one of the easiest characters in the game to get a Danger 5 win with. It's probably the easiest, maybe Doctor, but either way, if you're looking for your first Danger 5 win, this is one of the very best characters to get it with. And it just got a significant buff, which I think makes it even better. What's been added to the Knight is that it now has ranged damage items banned from showing up in the shop. Alongside the ability to ban other items, that's going to make your shops incredibly powerful, because all this character wants to do is just buy armor. And so when you remove a whole subset of items from the shop, it makes it easier to get that armor. We also got the addition of the Vorpal Sword as a great weapon for the character, so that's what we're going to play with. And we're going to show off how to get a very easy Danger 5 win with the Knight, because you get so many defenses, you get your offense for free, and your shops are now always going to be filled with mostly excellent items, thanks to the stealth buff that they just gave this character. On the first wave there, you would like to get, if you can, 56 materials. We got 55 because I missed that last single enemy, but overall still pretty good. With the Knight, you have 80% reduced harvesting modifiers, so normally, of course, you would pick up this 5 harvesting. On this character, we're not going to do that. I could roll and try to buy armor, but let's just take 2 regen. We're going to need regeneration very quickly, so we'll pick that up right away, and then we'll be able to get armor as we go as well. Now, we're very happy to see another Vorpal Sword, and again, one of the great things about the Knight is that you can't have level 1 items show up in the shop, so your shops are also going to be overall better. Can't have level 1 weapons, show up in the shop, so your shops are going to be overall better, because you're going to find only higher level weapons. I could pick up the mace here. This gives us another medieval weapon. It scales negatively with your attack speed. So the Knight has reduced attack speed modifiers. So the mace, and so won't be buying a lot of attack speed. So the mace does give you some advantages there. But I think we're going to stick with just swords and Vorpal swords. And that way we'll keep the blade tag maxed out as well. So here I'm just going to ban out the Gummy Berserker, because this is an item we never want to buy on the Knight. Beanie is not bad, but I think I will leave it in the pool but not lock it. Then I'm going to do a reroll, so we can potentially try to lock a really powerful economy item, such as, for example, this bag. I'm also going to ban Turret. We're not going to build engineering in this run, so let's go ahead and ban that out. And alongside the fact that ranged damage items can't show up, the fact that we've already banned 2 items is really good for our shops. It means that we're going to get much higher quality items appearing much faster. We're fine playing with just 1 weapon on this wave. We should still be able to clear all the enemies relatively easily. Though, of course, we're going to want to fill out our weapon set fairly soon. I'm going to reroll here. Again, we can't buy harvesting, and dodge or damage are both fine, but we're really looking for armor. I will just take the level 2 upgrade here for 6 max HP, though. That's always going to be powerful. We'll buy a Vorpal Sword, and here I am going to buy the bag now, because we won't be able to buy another weapon even if I find one to lock in the shop. We might as well just buy the bag before we reroll. I'll leave Weird Ghost in the pool, and do I want to lock it? I think that's okay. We don't need to lock it. And wow, what a shop. So we got a Vorpal Sword and we got to lock Coupon and Bag, 2 amazing economy items. So we're very happy there. That shop basically could not have been better for us. And again, that's more likely to happen because so many items are naturally banned. And we've banned a couple items that we don't want to see. Obviously, banning 2 items doesn't make, double bag and a coupon guaranteed to show up, but it does increase the odds, and those types of small bonuses do add up when you get enough of them. Here, we're going to reroll, and I could take 5 luck. I think I will. Luck is one of the ways that you can boost your economy on this character efficiently, and since harvesting doesn't really work, So increasing our luck is very important. I'm going to reroll again here. We still haven't found an armor upgrade, which is something that I definitely need. But let's get some movement speed. We've got a bag locked in the shop, so we're going to boost our move speed to offset the bag move speed penalty. We'll buy coupon first, or if I do that, I can't buy the Vorpal sword because I'm a little short on money here, and that would cost us 88, which even with the 5% discount will not put us below 74 in costs. I think I do want the 3 weapons here, so I am going to buy the sword over the coupon in the bag. Because the knight only can see level 2 weapons, you do need to sometimes make tough decisions like that. We'll lock the Broken Mouth here. That's another great item for us. So a little sad to have to delay picking up those awesome economy items for another wave, but still pretty important to do that, because with 3 weapons, we're just going to make so much more money by actually killing everything on this wave. We also have the Lamprey this wave, and the Curse Aliens, so I want to make sure we have the damage to clear those higher health enemies on wave 4. Where's the other Curse Alien? Spawned in kind of a weird spot, so unfortunately we didn't get to kill it here. Alright, we're going to take 2 armor, because on the knight, when you buy armor, you get extra melee damage, so that just boosts the damage of our weapons. And then we'll buy the coupon, and now I can buy the Vorpal sword. And again, I'm going to prioritize getting my weapons online here a little earlier. We'll ban out the boxing glove. We don't need to increase our knockback, so let's just get rid of more bad items. I was re-rolling there because in the first 5 shops, you are guaranteed to see at least 1 weapon in the shop. So even though we had 2 items locked, we're looking for more swords. So I wanted to re-roll even with 2 items locked in order to maximize the chances of those appearing. Alright, we should be able to get some Curse Alien kills here, which is great. Walking into that attack for no reason at all. Killing some enemies here, and you can see we're making a little bit less money than you would on most characters because we're not buying harvesting, and a lot of your income is going to come from harvesting, but you don't care that much about making less money on this character because your money is so much more efficient. If you buy armor, you also get melee damage, which is a massive boost to your economy, because it means 2 of the most important stats you get for 2 for the price of 1. So even with less money, you spend that money much more effectively. I will take the Alien Tongue here. Pickup radius is good for a character like this that's going to be using consumable healing for a lot of our healing. As a melee character, enemies dropping consumables is something that we will take very strong advantage of. And then I think I will start building dodge. We get some dodge for free. 6% dodge we will get for free from the medieval weapon tag. So we can build dodge reasonably efficiently on this character as well. We'll buy the econ items finally. We'll pick up this tree, and then we'll lock a Vorpal sword and a little muscly dude. I've got 2 items locked, and one of them's a weapon, so we don't need to reroll on wave 5 here, so we can just save our money. The little muscly dude is not as necessary for us right now because we do have 27 HP already, which is fairly high at this point. And melee damage is less important to buy on this character because you'd rather just buy armor and get it that way. But it's still just an efficient item that gives us stats that we need, so we're gonna pick it up. If you're playing on Abyssal Terrors, like we are here, the fact that we're using a melee weapon with our Vorpal swords is pretty nice overall as well, because it means that the pufferfish, these guys, will not explode and release projectiles. They do explode if you kill them with a ranged weapon, but not a melee weapon, so you get a slight benefit there. We're happy to pick up this beanie. That's why we left it in the pool. It gives us extra move speed, which we want, and we got a crate, so we got a bunch of extra money there as well, which is great. Here, I'll just take 6 more dodge. If you find these higher level dodge upgrades early, you can build dodge pretty efficiently. The way that dodge works is the more dodge you have, the better each point of dodge is. So if you get a some for free or really efficiently early, it becomes a very powerful defensive tool. If you don't, then you should usually just ignore it. We'll definitely buy a Vorpal sword, and I'm just going to buy a normal sword as well here. That'll just get our full weapon set online, which we definitely want. I want the little muscly dude, but I'm going to buy the Corrupted Shard first, because increasing our curse makes cursed enemies and items more likely to appear. So, since we want both of those items, we'll buy the one we want more first. We'll lock the leather vest, and I'll just go ahead and ban out the ice cube here. Just getting rid of that means that it won't appear in future, and then we'll do a reroll. We're definitely strong enough to buy a bait here, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll lock Gentle Alien as well, another awesome item, and so you can see we have a really good shop again. I don't really need to worry about dodging, because I've got a ton of armor, and we've got good HP. I do need more regeneration soon. Right now, we only have 2 regen, and a little bit of lifesteal from the blade weapon tag, but we will need more of that pretty quickly. The Walrus is pretty dangerous there, because our attack speed is slow. These weapons don't attack quickly, and obviously, as the Knight, we have limited options for increasing our attack speed. And an enemy like that charges towards you, you need high attack speed to kill. Go ahead and kill that cursed enemy for a little bit of extra cash. And clear out these tougher enemies in the middle here. And we made 236 materials. Had to briefly pause the video there to save headphone users from the almighty dad sneeze, but we're back. Let's take this coupon, which of course we're very happy to pick up. And then I could take 10 luck. I could also take 5 attack speed. So this is 10 listed on the sheet, of course, but the Knight has 50% reduced attack speed modifiers. Now that you might think that that means you don't want to buy attack speed, but that's actually not true. You should still buy attack speed on the Knight. You get tons of base damage for free. So even when you're buying less attack speed, it's multiplying a higher number. So it's still very efficient to buy it. In fact, in this spot, I'm going to take it over the luck because it's one of the things that could most improve my character. Also, there is a spider just walking across my monitor. It is, obviously you can't see this because it's in my actual house, but it is currently chasing my cursor around across my monitor. So welcome to Brotato, I guess. We're going to take all of these items. Can I buy all of them? Yes, we can. So we can get this whole shop and then get a free reroll. We'll lock a Vorpal sword. I'm building dodge, so I'm going to buy the feather, and then barricade is just a bad item, so I'm just going to go ahead and ban that. I could save my bans to try to ban from a specific item level or something, but just getting rid of items that we don't want is going to be really nice. As the Knight, as we mentioned, there's a bunch of items that are kind of pre-banned for your character, so we don't have to be as picky with our bans. Just removing anything from the pool makes it so much more likely that the items that we want will show up. So the main thing that we're missing at this point is just healing. We're doing very well on every other stat, but we definitely need some healing, especially before we fight some boss waves. Now, I did notice that we have 2 horde waves in this run, which is going to be easier. Horde waves are kind of free for this character because you get so much damage just by building armor, and you don't need to worry about healing for them. You'll just be able to kill the enemies through them. We'll take the Lost Duck here, and then here I could take 9 dodge. I could roll for armor. I could take some max HP. I could also roll for regen. Since we're building dodge, though, and these 9% dodge level ups are a really efficient way to buy it, I'm just going to go ahead and take dodge here. We'll buy a Vorpal Sword upgrade, take the Feather and the Whistle, and then do a reroll. I'll lock another sword. I will buy the Broken Mouth, and I'm going to buy the Padding, not because it's a very powerful item or we really need the HP, but again, just to remove it from the pool. We're basically spending 80 materials on 3 HP and getting 1 extra ban by doing this. With unique items, you can buy them instead of banning them to remove them from the pool. You still shouldn't do that on items that are useless to you, so that's why we didn't buy the ice cube earlier. Because just spending a bunch of money on no value is going to set you pretty far behind in general. But for items that are marginally valuable, like the padding, giving us a little bit of HP, it's at a relatively expensive rate, and we don't really need the health as much, but it's still a valuable stat to have in general, and when it comes with an additional free ban, it can be much more worth it. I think that the calculus on that has changed a bit since the introduction of the... Oh, nice, we got the one-shot on the loot alien and got that extra crate. That's awesome. Go Vorpal Sword. I think that the calculus on that has changed a little bit since the introduction of the ban system. It has made it more valuable to buy unique items because you're able to shrink the pool a little with the ban system. So the more items you remove from the pool, the greater an impact each one has on your shop quality, which is why a character like the Knight that has a bunch of items banned by default gets even more benefits there. So buying unique items, even if you don't fully need the stats, is a little more valuable now than it used to be. I think I will take the fresh meat here. It's still a fairly efficient way to heal, so even though we'd prefer regeneration over lifesteal, we can just buy both. And then here, do I want 9 dodge or 7 attack speed? I guess we'll just take the dodge. We're getting very close to our dodge cap, so getting to that would be great. Also, now we benefit a ton from adrenaline. Going up to 50% dodge will make that actually a fairly reliable way of healing our character. And then let's go ahead and buy out this shop. Bunch of great items there. So here we can ban Coral for sure. We definitely don't want that. We'll buy the Cauldron. That removes that from the pool. And all our weapons crit for ×2 damage, so Insanity is pretty good for us. Do I want the Little Frog? If I don't want it, I could ban it, and then we get a free reroll, so there's some value in doing that. And I think I will. This item's kind of marginal. I might leave it in the pool normally, but banning it also just gets us 9 materials, so being able to do that is pretty valuable as well, so we're just going to do that. And then here... let's lock this pearl, and I'll buy the duct tape, because extra armor, of course, is what this character wants. We haven't actually managed to buy a lot of armor so far, but it's very nice to do so, and we'll keep building crit. The critical chance of Vorpal Sword is independent of the one-shot chance, that they don't interact with one another, so... you still do want to build critical hit on the Vorpal Sword, especially on a character like this that gets tons of base damage for free, so the critical is multiplying a bigger number. We've got decent luck. So we're able to get a reasonable number of crates each wave, and we can rely a little more on consumable healing as well. We have a little bit of extra pickup radius, so the fruits are a little easier to grab, and we just benefit overall from having good healing as a result of that. I'm going to take the mushroom here. We do still want to get high regeneration, and then we'll take 9 dodge, and now we're almost at dodge cap, which is awesome. Take the pearl here, that will help our percent damage, and then we'll buy the insanity. I think I do actually want to just buy this butterfly. Lifesteal has become more of a plan for this character than it usually is. But once you've started building some lifesteal, it can be good to keep building it. This is an awesome shop again. Now, we don't need the bandana, but the sad tomato will give us really good healing, and so will the weird food. And Cyclops worm is a great damage item. I'm just going to ban the bandana. We're just never going to use that, so let's go ahead and buy that. We'll buy jelly as well. When this gives you 2 HP, it's usually worth it. If it gives you less than 2 HP, it's usually not. As in 1 HP. Or I guess 0 if you're playing the bull. I assume jelly can't show up for the bull, but I don't remember. If it can, it should probably be added to the ban list. We're starting to get a lot of one-shots, but not really on the enemies that we care about one-shotting. We would need to one-shot, like, these cursed goblin sharks to really get benefits out of the Vorpal Sword one-shots. The one-shots are more for flavor, and they do sometimes give you a really easy elite fight if you happen to get lucky. But in general, they're not a massive increase to your damage output. This weapon is just good by default, so you don't need to one-shot things for it to be just a strong weapon. I'm gonna roll here, and I'll take 15 more luck. We have Pearl, so extra luck is more valuable there, and a lot of our healing comes from consumable healing, so it's pretty good in that sense as well. Buy the Vorpal Sword and the Crystal and the Cyclops Worm and roll. Buy a helmet, and then these items are also really good, Fishhook and Lucky Charm, so we'll pick those up as well. So I need to try not to take hits to try to stack our crystal bonus. I say, and then immediately take a hit. It is going to be hard to avoid because this is a horde wave. It's wave 12, which is a little harder for a horde on Abyssal Terrors, because there's a lot of ranged enemies on wave 12. As well, you get this blobfish, or these blobfish who can then summon lampreys for more enemies that are tough to dodge. We're not in any danger of dying or anything, because we have really high dodge and adrenaline, so we've got lots of free healing. So even if I take a bunch of damage, we're just very unlikely to die. I am gonna kill the blobfish because we can pick up extra curse out of those. The hedgehog, I guess we'll buy 2 melee damage for -1 regen is okay for us, so we'll take that. We'll recycle the reinforced steel, and then I'm gonna start building health regeneration quickly. I could take 2 armor. I could also take 9 dodge. That would put me back over dodge cap, and since I reduced it by 2, so let's just do that. Normally on this character, you would take the armor, but our dodge is so high, buying dodge is really good for us. We'll buy the Fishhook and the Lucky Charm and roll. Take the Shady Potion as well, and we'll roll. And Warrior Helmet is amazing for this character. Which of these items do I want first? I guess I'll take the Warrior Helmet, just increases our base damage output. And we'll buy the Penguin, and then lock Cyclops Worm. I'll also lock the Goat Skull. This isn't an item I'm very excited about in general, but since we have Fishhook, if it gets cursed, it's really nice for us. Actually, probably I should have bought the other items and locked the Warrior Helmet, because we'd benefit more from cursing that, since it would reduce the speed penalty that that item gives you. When you're cursing an item, if it has both a bonus and a penalty that you care about, it's more valuable to curse it than it is to curse an item that you only care about the bonus and don't care about the penalty. Because cursing an item both increases the positives and reduces the negatives. So on an item like Warrior Helmet that has 2 positive stats that we care about and a negative stat that we care about, cursing it is really good because we benefit from both halves of the increased values. Get some... Oh, there's a loot alien. Can we get it? Yeah, nice. With double bag, it's so nice to kill those early, too. We'll take the alien tongue here. Boiling water, we don't need. Let's recycle that. We'll take the Cyclops Worm and Goat Skull. I don't think I'll actually buy. We just don't need to buy melee damage on this character. If I don't buy it, I can buy the Blood Leech and the Warrior Helmet. It does increase my, or decrease my move speed going into the Horde wave, but that's okay. We now have 19 armor and 60 dodge, so we're more or less invincible at this point in the game. And I guess I'll lock the Goat Skull again. We can maybe get Fishhook value. I will need to fix my movement speed before we go up against the Elite, because I've reduced it a lot. But that shouldn't be that hard. We'll hit level 20 before we go against the Elite, so if worst comes to worst, we can just re-roll our level up screen until we get a +9 speed level up. Probably we'll find a speed item before then, but if we don't, that's always an option. I'm not gonna, because I have such low movement speed, and obviously we have low attack speed, I'm not worried about the crystal on this wave. We're just gonna focus on killing as much stuff as possible, just by wading into these groups of enemies, and we'll use our regeneration and consumable healing to survive. And the fact that they're not doing any damage to us, because we have 60 dodge, we have 19 armor, so we're just able to flatten everything that comes at us. I was hoping I could get to the tree there before the end of the wave, but I missed out on that. Take the Dangerous Bunny. For 32, I guess I'll buy the Energy Bracelet. We don't care about the ranged damage or elemental damage, obviously, but 4 crit chance is fine, and 32 for 4 crit chance is okay. Okay, the Cursed Night Goggles. Now, this is a good item for us. 28% crit chance at the cost of 1 HP and 1 armor, and even more importantly, we get 7 Curse, so that's obviously great. The range isn't bad, but it's certainly not that important to this character. I'm going to go ahead and combine here and buy a sword. And again, we didn't hit the goat skull. I'll take the Terrified Onion. Losing luck is bad, but we do need more movement speed, so we'll just buy that. I think I will just buy the goat skull. It gives us a free reroll here, so it can be worth it. We'll take the metal plate. Do another reroll, and Penguin, Mastery, Boiling Water. Obviously, the Boiling Water we don't want. The cake we'll probably buy. I'm trying to decide which of these items I want to buy, which I want to lock, and which I want to reroll past, because we have a free reroll here. I think I'm going to buy the Penguin, and I'm actually going to just roll past Mastery and Cake. Melee damage is good, but I feel like there's other stuff that we can lock in this next shop, and yeah, we were able to lock a sword for a potential cursed weapon. Alien Eyes, if it gets cursed, I'll buy it, so I guess I'll lock that as well. Trident is also a medieval weapon, so if this gets cursed, we will buy this also. So I'm just going to lock a couple items there for our fishhook. We won't buy the Trident if it doesn't get cursed, but if it does, cursed weapons are so powerful that adding one into our weapon set is going to be worth a lot. That cursed vampire squid tanked so many hits. We did like 3 200 damage criticals to it, but it just has so much health. Got a random crate drop there, which is always nice. Especially when you have bags. We'll get this Curse Alien kill over on the side here, and there we go. The feather I'm going to recycle now. We're over dodge cap, so we don't need to boost that, and we'll recycle the mutation as well, of course. I could take 10 luck here, and I guess I will. I could try to reroll and look for armor or move speed or something, but luck is fine. And then we'll take the Cursed Alien Eyes, we'll buy the sword, and I'm not going to buy the Trident. We'll take the Lemonade, and we'll do a reroll. I'll lock the Cyclops Worm, and do I want the Missile? We would lose 2 attack speed and gain 10% damage. My percent damage is actually kind of low, so I think I will do that. And then I guess I'll just lock all of these items. Anything that gets cursed will be really nice, and obviously the cursed ritual is just always going to be good. This wave, we will have guaranteed Curse Alien spawns around the edges of the map. So we're going to, on wave 16, so we're going to try to focus on getting some Curse Alien kills in order to boost that stat. Curse is one of the ways that you can reliably increase your economy on the night, since we can't use harvesting, but Curse increases the amount of money that enemies drop, and means that some of your items are worth twice as much, which obviously is really good. Alright, nice. We got the Terrified Onion, so we have positive move speed again. Take the duct tape here. 12 dodge would have been good before we were over dodge cap, but we don't need it now. But I will take 7 more attack speed. Boosting my attack speed up to 15 is going to be pretty nice. Fishhook continuing to not impress. We actually didn't hit level 20 before fighting the Elite. I really thought I was going to. I guess we have 1 feather reducing my XP gain, but just did the math wrong there, I suppose. I'm going to take the Vorpal Sword. This gives us a 3% chance to one-shot the Elite, and then we'll take the Cursed Ritual as well. So that makes it more likely that the Elite just dies, and then we'll lock this Schmoop, take our free reroll, and lock a helmet, and hopefully with a 15% pity bonus and 4 items locked, we get something cursed from our Fishhook. We'll see. Because we have Sad Tomato, I'm going to back off from the Elite until we've healed up just a little bit. We're not worried about fighting this Elite, of course, but if we, one way we could throw the run is if I walk in at half health and take 3 or 4 hits immediately, so just preventing that from happening. Killing some curse aliens that pop out of these blobfish, and boosting our curse even higher. So I couldn't tell there. It looked like maybe they've changed Vorpal Sword to not one-shot the Elite, because it sounded like we got the one-shot, but it didn't die. It just took a big chunk of damage. So I wonder if it's been changed to like a percentage of its health. The lucky coin will give us a bunch of luck. That's very valuable. Even though it costs me melee damage and armor, which are the most important stats for the night, I'm still going to take this item. Incendiary Turret won't do anything here. We do want more crit chance, so even though the dodge isn't good, we'll take the blindfold, we'll take the bait, and then, okay, well, we got 1 item cursed with our Fishhook here. I am going to buy all of the rest of these items, and then we'll roll. Ball and Chain, we're actually close on getting our weapon attack speed faster than the Ball and Chain. If I had taken the Incendiary Turret, I could take Fried Rice here, so that is something to note. We could maybe have gotten value there. But I'm going to lock the Ball and Chain because we have a Fishhook. If we get this cursed, it reduces the minimum cooldown that we can bring our weapons to, so even if we find more attack speed, a cursed Ball and Chain will be just fine. Cursed Vorpal Sword will be more than fine, and then we'll roll here, and we'll lock a Sif's Relic. I'll lock a Sword as well, because I can potentially get that cursed as also, so. Sif's Relic, of course, amazing for this character, giving us a bunch of extra armor. The pulling materials in is not actually that useful, but 3 armor is still just so good, so it's really nice for this character, and it's just a fun item. A little bit more move speed and a little bit more regen are all we really need. Of course, we'll keep stacking armor, attack speed. Really, that's it. Powerful cursed items that we find, but the only stats that we're sort of gonna prioritize are move speed and attack speed. Having 60 dodge is kind of nice for our crystal, because we've actually managed to keep the crystal bonus for most of that wave, thanks to the extra dodge that we have. I'll take 2 lifesteal here. Losing the harvesting doesn't really matter, and then we'll take 3 more armor. I could also roll to get move speed or attack speed, but we'll just take the +3 armor upgrade. Alright, so the Ball and Chain didn't get cursed, but the sword did. That's kind of nice. So, how do I want to do this? I'm going to buy both cursed weapons, so we're always combining our Vorpal swords here. We'll buy this. And then I guess I'm just going to sell out of the level 3 normal sword to buy the level 2 cursed one. I'll take Sift's Relic, and then we'll leave the Ball and Chain locked, and we'll do a reroll. We'll lock Cyclops Worm, we'll do a reroll, and we'll lock the Cursed Bag. I guess actually we're going to wave 19 now, so we don't need the Cursed Bag. A little sad to pass on that, but it won't be worth anything because we're going to wave 20. Would have been nice to find earlier, of course. Yeah, I couldn't tell when we were fighting the Elite earlier. I thought I got the audio cue for one-shotting an enemy, but I didn't see the text. It's possible that we just one-shot something else that was under the Elite, but it's also possible that they've changed the Vorpal Sword to not just instant kill Elites and bosses, which would be sad. I liked that it did that. And I actually did not think it was overpowered at all for it to do that. Stone Skin gives us a bunch of extra armor at the cost of extra HP at the cost of 3 attack speed. Honestly, in terms of the maximizing our win rate, recycling the Stone Skin is probably fine here, maybe even better, but I'll take it just to get to 100 HP. The Eye Patch for 40, I guess we'll take 3 crit chance for 40, and then we'll recycle Scope, which we don't care about. We'll roll here, and I could take 16% damage or 2 armor, which boosts my melee damage by 4 as well. So these upgrades are closer than they look, even though one's level 4 and one's level 2. And in fact, I think we do want the armor. I think that's going to increase our damage more. All right, so the Ball and Chain. Do I have weapons that attack faster than the Ball and Chain minimum? No. So we could still buy this. Buy both of these. I guess I will just buy the Ball and Chain. We'll buy Spicy Sauce. And I'll reroll again. Reroll again. And there's just nothing here that I'm that interested in. So we'll roll again. And we'll just do a couple rolls for fun. Ooh, the Cursed Vorpal Sword would have been awesome if we could get that 4% chance to one-shot a boss. If I sell my level 4 normal sword, we still can't afford it, unfortunately. So no luck there, so we'll roll past it. Fairy would have been great as well, of course. We have been needing a little bit of regeneration. That's like the only stat that we're still low on. I guess move speed we're also pretty low on. Those are the only stats that we're still low on going into this last wave. Go kill the whale boss. Usually you want to kill the whale boss first because it has harder attack patterns to dodge. So we're going to focus on doing that. Okay, well it did just get one shot and die immediately, so looks like that has not been changed. I must have either misheard or we one-shot something that was under it, and there we go. We just had to hit them enough that our Vorpal Swords went Snicker Snack and defeated the bosses. And there you go. So the Knight, I think, is now... It was already one of the easiest ways to get a Danger 5 win in Brotato. I think it's now even easier because they've removed the ranged damage items from showing up in the pool. So you're just going to get good items appearing. You can see that our first pile of items here that we got, these are all very high quality items that we got relatively early in the game. And then we were also able to build up to 60 dodge and 33 armor, making us nigh invincible. On this version of the build, we ended up with a little less regen than you usually would. But we got actually only 46 HP recovered from the adrenaline. That's really funny, because we were just full health most of the time when we were dodging. But we had a surprising amount of lifesteal. The blade weapon tag gives you some, and we ended up getting more just sort of naturally. So that's where a lot of our healing came from, as well as our consumable healing. The fish hook gave us a curse. What did it curse? It cursed the sword and the Cyclops worm. Maybe alien eyes? Yeah, I think it cursed 2 items, so not that exciting, but when you get any curse, more curse is always good, because it's going to give you more cursed items, so that's why we got things like the night goggles appearing. Alright, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this run, and I hope that if you want just a very clean, easy win, this helps you find one. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.